Vice President of the Power Industry Network. To celebrate Veterans Day, I am pleased to present a short video with clips from the community honoring our veterans, specifically those who have transitioned into the power industry, bringing their skills, knowledge, and dedication in helping our industry advance. In addition to this video, the Energy Central community team will be shining a light on the many outstanding utility professionals in our network who also spent time in the military. We will be featuring written interviews with these veterans sharing how they found their way into the industry, highlighting their unique perspectives of the industry and how they are influencing the utility space today. I hope you will take a minute not only to watch this video, but read some of the veteran interviews we have posted in the community throughout the week. As a granddaughter, daughter, sister, cousin, and friend of veterans, this holiday is near and dear to me. I would like to thank all those who have served. And now, please enjoy this short video.
Hi, I'm Karl Rabago. I left the Army in 1990 after nearly 13 years as an airborne and Ranger qualified Armored Cavalry and Judge Advocate General's Corps officer. I was a lawyer. During my last year, while teaching law to cadets at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, I enrolled in the Pace University Law School to earn a postdoctorate degree in environmental law. The plan was to spend the rest of my military career in the Army's JAG Corps Environmental Law Division. But then I took a seminar in electric utility regulatory reform, and that was all she wrote. My military service taught me and showed me what leadership, not just management, is all about. It taught and expected me to honor an oath to preserve, protect, and defend this great country and all who live in it. When I really learned what we were doing to the climate, the environment, and to ourselves through the way we make and use energy, it became my second great career calling. Along the way, I have met and worked with many vets in engineering, management, operations, information system, regulation, and many other aspects of the energy industry. Here's what I've seen. Veterans work harder. They hold high ideals. They value teams. They practice discipline. And they've already learned what the public interest means. And I'm proud to be one of them. Thank you.
You know, we do a lot of things in the military. They teach you a lot of great skills. And those skills translate really well into the power industry and into public power. The other thing that you get from a military person in public power is you get somebody that really knows how to work and work hard. So I think there's a nice symbiotic relationship on both sides where military works well into public power and public power really needs the military people.
The utilities specifically, I think, are in a good position. We tend to have a work ethic focus more than an educational background focus. I think we tend to look for character and drive and dedication, and we'll teach you what we need you to know rather than expecting you to know it coming in. So I think municipal, public powers are in a unique position. It's an ideal fit for veterans because of what we care about is a little different than what the Fortune 500 companies care about.
Visiting multiple different countries and seeing how people live all over the world, it definitely makes me proud to be an American. I graduated from high school and I went to a trade school for about a year. And after I got out of trade school, I had a job and I was working on diesel trucks. And it was around Christmas time and I got laid off. And I said, well, this is kind of a terrible thing. Let me see if there's something to go do. And I went down and talked to a recruiter and took a test, and they said, oh, you can qualify for all these different kinds of jobs. So, what kind of things interest you? And, I always liked things that were mechanical. And so I chose a job and, immediately went into the service. My grandfather had served in the Navy. My dad was a Marine. And so, just a little rub against him, I thought, the Navy was a good place to go. When I was in the Navy and I was learning about propulsion equipment, power generation, because you do have to generate your own power on a ship as well as use it for propulsion to move the ship through the water. And so it naturally translates to power generation in the real world because we use steam to make electricity to power all the homes that we provide the power to. So it's an easy transition. Lots of equipment is the same, principles are definitely the same. I wanted to serve the community. I thought that was important. You know, that serving your country is one thing, and it's massive. It's really, you know, you're a very small part of this ginormous thing. But I like working for the electric utility because this is the thing that makes sense to me: the equipment, the power generation. The people that are associated with it are very, you know, passionate about what they do. They have a burning passion, and they accomplish a lot of things, and it's amazing to see the things that people can accomplish.
Well, I think it's an excellent transition for military veterans because just like national defense, the utility industry is vital to our everyday way of life. And you know, in the utility industry, you know, you find enormous opportunity to reach your maximum potential, and you can utilize the skills that you develop during your military service on a daily basis. And I feel that by working in the utility industry, you are basically continuing your service by serving those in your local community.
I've served in the United States Marine Corps for 22 years, 4 months, and 4 days. I joined the military 1983, June 27th. I graduated high school June 26th. I went straight into the Marine Corps. The main reason, I think, as a high school person, I really had nowhere to go. You know, it was like, well, let the military change. Also, I had a family lineage of going to the military, so I decided the day after graduation I went in the military. My great-grandfather served in the West, actually World War I in the 5th Cavalry. My grandfather was at Pearl Harbor with Army Air Corps, and my dad was in the Marine Corps from 59 to 63, and you know, the lineage is this. It was my turn. It was my turn. I have uncles and cousins that all went in the service, so it was just my turn. I served as a helicopter crew chief. I have about 3,000 hours as an onboard crew chief, and I started losing a lot of friends from crashes, from accidents, and you know, I just felt that, you know, it was time to get out of this job and do something a little more safer. So I went to college. I got accepted in the degree completion program, and I did 3 years of college to get my undergrad, and then I came back and I served as an auditor for the Marine Corps for the rest of my tour. One thing about being in the military, you never lose track of anybody. Because when you go through really hard times, and I mean really hard times, you can't imagine. In my like Facebook account, 90% of the people on my Facebook, all guys I served, guys and girls. And I'm always in contact with them. But I move, about every 4 to 5 years I move. And I haven't talked to anybody, any neighbors or anything like that. With the military guys, I'm always talking to them. We're always together. We're stuck like glue. If something happens, we show up. You know, we've been long out in the military. It's a little bit different, the camaraderie that we have. It never leaves. Even when you leave the military, it never leaves.
Following the despicable detainment of our American citizens by the Iranians in 1979, I was inspired to serve in the military. I enlisted in the United States Marine Corps out of high school and served in Special Forces in the Far East. I was fortunate enough to have been provided the opportunity while in high school to work part-time in a municipal utility district operating and maintaining a 1,200 connection water and wastewater system on the Gulf Coast of Texas. After discharge from the Marine Corps, I found an opportunity at a wastewater treatment plant in League City, Texas. At that time, I assumed I would take that job until I figured out what I was going to do with my career. 40 years later, the utility sector has provided an excellent opportunity for me to raise my family and provided an opportunity for me to professionally and personally grow from an operator to a vice president of operations, a vice president of business development, and now serving as the president of Veolia Water Long Island, which is the largest wastewater operation in the Veolia portfolio. It's stories like this, and there are many of them, that lead me to encourage the young men and women transitioning out of the military into the utility sector, and more importantly, to Veolia North America. Semper Fi.
I joined the military in 2008 I was in trade school becoming a nurse at the time, and I decided that I wasn't passionate about it, so I decided to join the Army. I served in Stuttgart, Germany for 3 years, 6 months in Djibouti, Africa for deployment, and the remainder of my career in Fort Huachuca, Arizona. Got out in 2015. During the time, the Army had a high retention, and they decided it's time to get out or get promoted. And it was very difficult to get promoted in my MOS code, so I decided to get out and pursue a civilian career in IT. I got into the electrical field through a friend of mine who works at FMPA. He recommended the position to me, and I've been here ever since. Transitioning out of the military is a scary moment. Once you break that barrier and break that fear, a lot of the skills that you learn in the military really translate over to the civilian world. Just, being on time and showing up with a smile and just ready to just, knock out your tasks, that's all the skills I learned in the Army. And I'm very grateful for the things I learned in the Army because, to this day, I represent that. I carry that with me, and it's important to me. It's something I'm extremely proud of. I come from my family, background. We all came from the military. My aunt served, my uncle served, and just the honor of me serving, it just shows my kids as well that there's a higher purpose in our nation that needs that answer that call, and I answered that call for them.
Hi, I'm Brian Peltier, a Navy veteran of 24 and a half years for the submarine force, and I recently retired from the Navy and moved on to Duquesne Light, working in an exciting field of transmission compliance. I'm making this video today to encourage retiring veterans and people getting out to possibly look at a career in the utility sector, because I think you'll find that your skills are very transferable and very well sought after in the utility business. Additionally, the utility business has a camaraderie that's similar to the service members that you used to work with in your previous career. I encourage you to take a look at us and join our team if you can.
This is Matt Chester, Community Manager at Energy Central. I just wanted to wrap up this video by thanking all of our energy industry professionals who took the time to submit their thoughts for this video, the veterans all across the utility workforce for everything that they've done, and for you, the Energy Central community member, for taking the time to listen and learn. I encourage you all to head to the comments section on energycentral.com to share some brief notes of thanks, offer your questions, and keep this important conversation going. And happy Veterans Day to all who have served.